Hi, family. Today we are going to another lesson of the School of the Spirit, and this one is going to be interesting. 7 types of toxic family members to avoid at all costs. See, in previous episodes, we talk about toxic people and people sent to you from the devil or used by the devil to ruin your life and you ruin your relationship and basically toxic people. It's easy to step away and walk away from friends, but what about family members? And trust me when I say this to you, not all family members will love you, accept you for who you are. Some family members are really toxic and really problematic. And how should you approach this? And today I would love to talk to you about these 7 types of people that can be family members that absolutely will ruin your life if you not recognize them and if you not move away. If you as soon as you understand these 7 types of people, 7 types of characteristics, you will already have weapons to against them. So you already have something, some kind of a tools to recognize this. And as soon as you recognize this, understand how you're supposed to approach this. And most of the time you cannot leave the house for certain until you're adult, right? Or when you are in a relationship and some members are intruding in your life. So I want to give you these keys how to approach this, how to recognize this, and how to get free from this type of people. In other words, I had this in my life, and currently I have family members who I personally sever my ties with because they're absolutely toxic. They're unwilling to change. It's all about control and all about their way. See, I understand when people change, and I understand we're supposed to love people and accept people and give them grace. But I give this only time when I see people willing to change. But if they're like religious, absolutely bent on like their way and absolutely ignore your personality, your dreams and visions, your goals in life, and intrude and pressure you to do something that you're not supposed to do, I advise you to step away from people and sometimes sever contact with them indefinitely. I have that, and I free myself from that, and I'm actually a lot more happier. I understand it's not great picture, and you shouldn't do this if those are people are not toxic. But if they are toxic, I mean, you should really consider of stepping away, of at least distance yourself from those people, because trust me, I know this from the experience. They will ruin your life. Okay, let's dive right into it. Families are everything. In most cases, this is true. Families are loving, families are supporting. In most cases, it's true, guys. But I'm talking about those rare cases when it's so toxic and it's so bad, and it's sometimes your mother, sometimes it's your father, sometimes it's your sister or brother, or some aunt or uncle or somebody close to you. And this is absolutely unmanageable, guys. And I've seen people being ruined by parents that try to push them in a way they're not supposed to go. Try to use guilt tripping, or let's just. I'm gonna talk about. I don't want to spoil this. It's gonna be interesting today. All right. So in most cases, this is true. Family members are caring, but in other cases, an apple can, guys, really fall far from the tree. Sometimes it's like cannot fall far, but in some cases, the apple can fall really far from the tree. And the very people closest to us can become our very own nightmare, worst nightmare. From a toxic sibling or parent who always make you feel guilty about yourself, family members can make or break you, guys. So here's the 7 types of family members to avoid. Number 1, I call them the helicopter members. What does it mean? Helicopter family member it's a type of family member who tend to hover around you constantly, trying to control you and dictate every aspect of your life. If you never had this, bless your heart. But I know what it feels like. Basically, someone always on the top of you, hovering over you, always in every aspect of your life. From things you eat out of the fridge to the decisions you make, where to work, when to work, how to work, what to do, what type of gym to use for exercises. They are constantly hovering over you, making sure you're listening to them. From inciting on what type of career path you should follow to write up the very type of person you should marry. They are basically they are like nosing in your life. They make it very difficult for you to make your own decisions. One common issue with helicopter family members is that they often see you as someone who doesn't know what they're doing. So basically, you're a little baby, they know better, and they will help you. And those type of people that really intrude in your life doesn't give you any independence. So you don't know what you're doing, right? That's what's going through their minds, and therefore they will try to make you an easy target for control and manipulation. Even if your suggestions or dreams are good, they may dismiss them and insist you follow their plans and their paths for your life instead, even if it's not something you truly want. You doesn't really want it, but they will pressure you into do this. The biggest issue about is that the longer you let those sort of people continue to control your life, the more damage it will cause in the long run. This could be especially difficult if you were an adult trying to gain your independence and make your own way in the world. It might lead you to a path where it becomes practically very difficult for you to trust your own instincts. Basically, they always, you're wrong, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do, go here, do this. And you basically lose your own sense of common sense, let's say. And you're gonna be dependent if you cannot move away from those people in the right at the right time. You will become dependent on their opinions. You will become like a slave to them, and I've seen this happen. This is one of the root causes of low self-esteem, right? Constantly surrounding yourself with people who talk down on your own dreams would mean you end up living someone else's dream rather than your own life. It is true that sometimes we need people in our lives to give us a little guidance and advice here and there. We all need it, guys. And it's good when someone in your life telling you something. This is excellent. But you shouldn't fall into a trap of being manipulated and controlled constantly. This is the problem. The behavior of helicopter members is driven by their own insecurities or unfulfilled dreams. Basically, they're trying to live out of you. They're trying to achieve their dreams that they could not achieve through you. So basically, you become someone they want to see. They want their own. Basically, they want you to do what they failed to do. That's the underlying problem. They may see themselves as failures and try to live vicariously through you, pushing you to achieve things that they were never able to achieve. All right, this is number one. Let's go to number two. Entitled family members. So second one, it's entitlement. Entitled family members are those who believe that they are entitled to all you have, regardless the effort and sacrifice it took you to achieve. Basically, it's whatever you have, they want a piece of it. Whatever, if you have a nice car, they want to drive it. I'm talking about siblings, right? If you have a nice job, you're supposed to help them to get that job. It's like it's absolutely entitled little thing living in your house and trying to manipulate you in helping them, guilt tripping you of doing something that you're not supposed to do. They often demand a share of everything you own. They trying to share your clothes. I'm not talking about when siblings share clothes, but I'm talking about when they absolutely demand for you to buy them stuff, to use your stuff, to use your hard-earned stuff that you bought, but for your own money, and they try to guilt trip in you. You're not a good brother or sister. You're not a good son if you're not taking care of them. They often demand to share everything you own, including your money, opportunities, or breakthrough, even without knowing the price you paid to get where you are. These type of family members are never available in your days of struggle. Did you notice that? I noticed that. They will never available when you have a bad day. They never support you. They never there. They just somewhere. They never see the sweat and the pain and the price you paid behind the scenes. But somehow they magically appear when things start to go well for you and become demanding and controlling overnight. So be aware of this type of people. In addition of being demanding and selfish, entitled family members can also change colors when their demands are not met. They become instantly angry and bitter, giving you bad names. You know that if you're not doing what they want, they like flip out on you. It's like it's anger issue now. They just angry at you because you're not a good sister, you're not a good brother. If you decline their request or fail to meet their selfish expectations, it isn't so much about what they need, but it's how they go about getting angry when they don't get what they want. So be careful, see those things. If someone wants you to do something, it's nice to do something for a family member. But when it becomes like you owe them something, this is a problem. It's important to recognize when you are dealing with entitled family member and to set boundaries to protect yourself and your own well-being. This may involve setting limits. So guys, you have to set the limits. So this is the way it's going to be. You just put that family member. It doesn't matter if they get angry or something. You just set the limits. This is my money. This is my stuff. This is my car. This is my life. I understand sometimes you cannot leave the house, but you need to set the boundaries. Even if you're gonna, anger some family members, it doesn't matter. It's for your own well-being. Basically, it may involve setting limits on the amount of time or resources you are willing to give, or simply say no when their demands become unreasonable. It may also be necessary to limit your contact with these family members when necessary, as well as stick to your own decisions to say no when it's necessary. This doesn't mean you are being bad, but it simply means you are taking a stand on what you define as healthy limit. Be careful with this type of people. The third one is, I call them invaders. Invaders are family members that have the tendency to cross boundaries and invade every private aspect of your life. They don't believe in boundaries and they feel like they have the right to intrude on your life. At any time, they will violate the privacy and try to get themselves involved in your relationships and even in your marriage. Basically, they stick their nose in every aspect of your life. Invaders. And like if it were friends, it's like you just like dude, just stay away. This is my thing. But when it's family member, it's really difficult because they entitled. They think they can. They want to be with your friends. You're like, no, this is my friends. He's like, no, take me. And basically, it becomes a problem because they try to involve themselves in every aspect of your life. Doesn't give you any privacy. Even when you're married and starting a family on your own, invaders will give you written rules on how to treat your spouse. Basically, they will teach you how to deal with your own wife or husband. Take in-laws, for example. Even after you are married, these invasive figures can be found intruding where their opinions are not invited, attempting to manipulate the dynamics between you and your spouse. Basically, they sit down, they just come to your house and start teaching your wife, start teaching your husband, start telling them how to live, start telling them this is wrong, this is right. See, this is what I call invaders. If you have those, you have to identify them and make sure you set the limits and the boundaries. All of this creates an atmosphere of tension and mistrust. They will give suggestions as how to treat your spouse or your family or whatever. They will tell you when to file for a divorce or suggest you marry another person just because she can't cook or he cannot fix something in the house. And sometimes they come about and just tell you this is not right person for you. Basically, they invading your life. Please understand. I understand little suggestion here, there. It's healthy, it's nice. But when they're constantly in your face, constantly telling you what to do, what not to do, who to marry, who to date, which restaurant you should go, which concert you should not go. Basically, they just in your life. Those are the dangerous people. They know each time you have a quarrel or know when your wife comes back home late. Basically, they in your life. They always finding out these little things, and they manipulate by like with information. All of this intrusiveness creates an inability for you to have a truly independent life of your own. It may be mama, it may be papa that intrude your life. You know that's what God says. You have to detach from your mother, right, and attach to your wife. Basically, become one with your wife. You have to leave. It says in the Bible, you have to leave your mother and father. You have to leave all your siblings. They're not supposed to be involved in your life. This is it. It's done. They can maybe say something to you, maybe some suggestion, but they cannot be involved in your life. This is your life. You have to live it for yourself. All of this intrusiveness creates an inability for you to have your truly independent life on your own. Sure, it isn't always bad thing to have one or two people check up on you. This is good to have friends just calling you, how you doing, what's going on. It's nice from time to time, right? But when it becomes a thing where you just can't have some room for your own private life, that becomes dangerous ground to step on. Be careful. They might sometimes assume this to be a sign of care, but in reality, it's just simply a need of control and manipulation. They want to be in your life. They're already accustomed, like, to nose in your life, to push you to do what they want, and this is just one of those things. They're just constantly involved in your life. It doesn't matter who they are. It might be friends, it might be siblings, it might be mother and father, but this type of personality you should not tolerate. Number 4. This one is interesting. The guilt trippers. Oh, I encounter those. The guilt trippers are the most manipulative family members you can encounter in your life. They have the ability to make you feel guilty even when you know you done nothing wrong. Basically, it's always your fault. You know those things. Anything you do, it's your fault. You need to change, even if if they mistreat somebody or they something wrong, they always manipulate and turn it around, and it will be your fault again. They feed negative energy into your soul, making it harder and harder for you to understand what you did wrong. They use guilt. So basically, they're not even telling you what you did wrong. They just guilt tripping you. They just pushing all this energy on you, and you feel bad, and you're trying to apologize, but you shouldn't do it. They use guilt as a way of control and manipulate you, so that everything goes their way. So it's another form of control. And they don't just targeting you. They will bring up topics that they know will trigger you and trap you. They know your past. They're close to you. They know exactly how everything works, and they will guilt trip you. They will trigger you, and they will trap you. They say uncomfortable and hurtful things, attempting to make you feel bad, despite the fact that they know exactly how it will affect you. They know it, and they still make you suffer. They usually make statements as such: I can't believe you will say no to me. Notice those people? Like, I can't believe you just said no to me. I have done so much for you, and you have no idea how much I sacrificed for you. So you have to, like, kind of see, along those lines, people will say these things to control you. Oh, I could not believe I did so much for you, and now you're repaying me like this, and those type of things. Please identify them and make sure you do accordingly, right? All of which are intended to make you feel bad about yourself. It's always about yourself. You notice when you're done with these people, when you finish with these guilt trippers, you always feel bad. You always feel like you have to apologize. You always feel like you done something wrong, but you didn't. It's their way of manipulation. Sometimes they may also play victim, preying upon your sympathy and guilt in order to gain their way. Sometimes they take their tactics one step further, as so far as crying. I've seen that before. If you like stand like you stand strong and you're like you're not moving anywhere, like no no no, I didn't do nothing wrong, and they start crying, just to break you down and get you to do what they want. They don't care. They will use anger. They use any type of guilt, even go so far as crying. It is important to recognize this type of family members for what they are and avoid getting caught in their web of manipulation and lies, guys. Be careful with this type of people. As long as you are conscious and clear and you know you did nothing wrong, you owe no one an apology. So be careful. Don't apologize if this is not your fault. Number 5. Personality type 5. The sacrificial lambs. This one is an interesting one. Sacrificial lambs are family members who think that because they once sacrificed or did something for you, you owe them for the rest of your life. Such family members often make it appear as if they done something for you out of kindness, but in reality their actions have strings attached to them. So they know they did something, and then now they use that whatever they did against you or to gain control over you. These individuals would hold on to things they did for you possibly years ago as justification for their current attempts to gaining something from you. Many relatives, including parents, are particularly guilty of this too. Sometimes parents do this. I know it. I'm a parent. I know I'm sometimes I did something like that too. So and I repent from that. And you use that. Use like, oh kid, you have no idea what I did for you, and just like making them feel bad. We parents, guys, we shouldn't do this. This is absolutely wrong. We should stop this. They may go. They may do a lot for their children, but we have to, guys. It's our children. We have to do it. There is no way around it. All right. They will do it same thing for their children when they are younger, but then use that as an excuse to continuously and endlessly demand and manipulate their life. They will always remind them of past sacrifices so they can create a sense of guilt and shame in the recipient, right? This can be especially damaging for children who may internalize these messages and struggle with self-worth and independence as they grow older. It's important to know that whatever you do for others should be done out of love and not out of the need of control. For family members, when a family member continues to use their generosity and the good deeds as a weapon against you, they stand in the way of your independence and growth. This is why it's important for you to become independent as soon as possible, guys. Be careful with those people, the sacrificial lambs. Type number 6. The toxic relatives. The toxic relatives are those family members who have tendency of leaving you emotionally wounded. These individuals are able to emotionally manipulate and damage your self-esteem and well-being. Even after you moved from their presence, the emotional scars they left may remain long after. After being exposed to a chronic display of negative energy, it becomes increasingly difficult for you to maintain healthy relationships outside of the toxic one. That's why sometimes people marry toxic people, because this is all they know. And then all that thing starts all over again in their own family. So guys, make sure you be healed. Be healed from that, as we talked in previous episodes. As you have ever known, as all of you have ever known, is continued negativity. If a family member or loved one is persistently damaging your well-being, it might be best to distance yourself until they show willingness to change. While moving away and distancing yourself can be a difficult process, it is the most important step you can take to protect yourself and build healthy relationships outside of toxic relationships. If it becomes necessary, take some time for yourself to heal, no matter how hard it may be. Doing so may benefit you in the long run, as you will be able to retain a sense of emotional security, peace, and well-being, guys. And the last one is personality, I called it the aggressive family member. An aggressive family member of any family can have a huge negative impact on the whole family. They may be quick to resort to verbal, physical aggression. When faced with problem, this type of individual may also have a hard time controlling their emotions and can become a ticking time bomb at any given moment. A person like this might enjoy stirring up drama and pushing your buttons in order to seek out attention. It is important to recognize the signs of aggressive family member and take steps to protect yourself and your family. If your family member has a long history of explosive anger and no attempts to change it, it would be wise to limit contact with them or even keep your distance. It is essential to keep healthy boundaries and establish clear guidelines when interacting with this type of family member. It is best to focus on keeping yourself safe while continuing to express love and understanding. Ultimately, it's important to remember that you cannot change another person. Sometimes, like, oh, I'm going to work on it. No, just give this thing to God, pray for him, but you cannot change another person if he is not or she is not willing to do. And some people should be distanced from in order to maintain your own mental health and physical well being. So there you have it, guys. 7 types of toxic family members to avoid at all costs. We'll see you guys in the next lesson. God bless you. Bye.